Right, good morning. I am actually testing out some different cameras today. So, excuse me as I'm looking down at my phone. We'll see how we go. I'm looking to see if we're actually going live on my page. And I'll sort of monitor it and make sure that we've got sound and all of those sorts of things as we go through. So, good morning. Hope you are all well. At the moment, my Facebook Live is showing a black screen, which is not helpful. Live is showing a black screen, which is not. Oh, there we are. You have some sound, so that's good. I've turned my Facebook off for now. You'll have to let me know if there's any issues. So let's see how we get on with two cameras rather than a camera and my phone. So good morning. My name is Helen Jennings. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator and I am based here in the UK. And we're here this morning to do a little bit of crafting, see where the morning takes us as we play with some of our lovely Stampin' Up goodies. So do come on and say hello if you are here with me, and let me know where you're joining me from, what you're up to, all of those sorts of things. Yeah, let's do a bit of crafting. So what news before we start from the Love-a-Duckie lily pad. You may all be aware that there are some bargains to be had. So the end of season sale has began, your last chance sale for goodies from the July to September or August to, should we try that again? To July to December or August to December as it was this year because of delays in shipping and things. So those things that are retiring from that catalogue are now in the last chance section of the shop, and there are some quite good discounts on things. Things are already selling out, so do go and check that out. If there are some things there that you love and you wonder why they're not showing, it could be because some things are carrying over and some things are returning. Some things are going into hibernation and will be back in the late summer, autumn of 2022, so that we can play with them all over again. And the suite that we're going to play with this morning is one of those things that is going to be carrying over and coming back again. So that's one section of bargains to be had. The other thing is there has been a refresh on the clearance rack. So there are some new things in the clearance rack. There were quite a few kits when I had a flick through the other day. So if you're looking for some nice gifts for somebody, that might be an option. Go and have a look and see which of those beautiful all-inclusive. There was a couple of paper pumpkin kits in there which would make fabulous gifts, so do go and check those out. Or if you're looking for something to do yourself over the Christmas period, if you're having a week off or so and you're looking for something interesting to keep you entertained over the Christmas period, why not treat yourself to a kit from the clearance rack. And obviously our kits anyway are fabulous value, and we have some gorgeous kits, so do keep an eye out for those, and there will be over the course of the next coming months, weeks, there'll be more kits being added to that collection, so do keep an eye on the kit section of the online store. So quick slurp of water. I think that's all the news. And let's change our camera and see how this camera works and how we go. So this is me, www.loveaduckie.co.uk. You can find me there on my website. You can find me under Love-a-Duckie on Instagram, on Pinterest, on YouTube, on Facebook. All of those places you're going to be able to find me under the name of Love-a-Duckie, so do go and check that out. So let's move that out of the way and let's bring in Sorry, it said that I'd lost my mic. This is things that either are carrying over or are going to hibernate and be back. So that's my very important list of things that we're going to still be able to play with either continuously or later on next year. But one thing that is carrying over is the painted Christmas suite. So this is a gorgeous suite, and I don't think we've played with it on a live. And I don't feel as if I've played with it nearly enough. So I'm really pleased that this is something that is carrying over. So the main stamps and die bundles are carrying over immediately. You're still going to be able to get those in January. The paper and these little gold foil, these little gold holly leaves are going to be back. They're going into hibernation, but both the paper and the gold leaves are going to be back in July 2022. So it seemed a good one to be playing. Particularly when you're joining us from places around the world. Okay, so we have 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets. So this is the Christmas season stamp set, and as you can see, there is no sentiments in this. It is all just beautiful pine cones, foliage, dots, berries, 2-step stamping, just really gorgeous stamps in that one, a photopolymer stamp set. That enables you to build up those foliage images. The other stamp set in the suite is all sentiments, and they're really useful sentiments, really nice fonts in here. And I know we've certainly used these for some projects and things. We've got your Merry Christmas, your season's greetings, friends like you make this season special, love and joy come to you and may it last the whole year through. You've got a little Merry just there. Magic is in the air. May this be a Christmas to remember and cherish. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and 'tis the season. I've certainly used that 'tis the season quite a few times. I do like that. We have the seasonal label dies. So these give you some labels, as the name would suggest. They give you some dies that are going to cut out some of your stamped images. You've got the little slots that you can be threading ribbon through. So yeah, a really useful little set of dies. The other dies are the Christmas Pinecone dies, and these are some seriously big dies. So you've got the big solid background piece. You've got the more detailed piece that you're going to cut out, either use on its own or that you can layer up. And then you've got the dies that are going to cut you out some pine cones. So combined together, they make some really beautiful projects. For some reason it keeps losing my mic. Oh, Caroline, I so need to tidy my craft space. I don't know why it keeps knocking the mic out. It keeps knocking the mic out on the camera. I might have to, if the camera's things work, I'll have to add in a mic. It's all good fun, isn't it? Technology, don't we love it? So you've got the foil holly leaves just there. I did just have a look just now to see if the ribbon was still in stock, and it is gone. It has already sold out. I'm just having a look to see if I can find my plug-in mic. Let's see if that works. Sorry, people, that it's all trial and error, but we have been having such problems with fuzzy camera angles that I wanted to try something else. So while I'm just unwinding the very long cord on my mic, so what I thought we would have a go at is, for one card at least, we'd have a little go at a wreath. I've got wreaths on my mind because I actually want to make one for my door. Obviously not out of paper and card. I don't think the weather here in the UK is such that we could really risk paper and card wreaths on our doors unless they were seriously waterproofed. But I'm going to plug this mic in and we'll see if that works. I don't know whether you're going to be picking up on my mic or on my on the camera. We'll have a look, see if that makes any difference. Just having a bit of a play with settings. Let's see if that makes any difference. Have we got sound? That's the question. Have we got sound? That's the question. Right, so we appear to have sound. It might be a little bit crackly. Let's see how we go. Oh, I think I need Father Christmas to bring me a whole new setup. My laptop is getting a bit old and clunky. My microphone is getting a bit old and crackly. We'll have to see what we can do. Perhaps we'll find something nice in the January sales. Right, okay, so I'm going to grab the Christmas season stamp set and my stamparatus. Oh, unhook that. Good. Pleased to hear it, Caroline. Let's see if that continues. Long may that continue. Now I'm just digging around in my bag because in my stamparatus bag I have these. It's got some nice mucky marks on it. I have these templates that I've made for creating wreaths. So we'll need our stamparatus. We'll need a foam mat in there, so we'll leave that in there. And we'll need our template. So let's find ourselves
piece of card, and I think I'm going to cut this at about 11.5 centimeters to start off with. Might trim down as we go along. That's about 4.5 inches. So I'm going to sit that in that 4.5 inch. So these have been drawn on with different coloured squares. So this is a 2-inch square. This pinky colour is a 3-inch square. The green is a 4-inch square. The blue is a 4.5-inch square. So I'm going to, which is about 11.5 centimeters. I'm going to rest that sitting square on in the 4.5-inch square. Let's bring in some of our foliage. Now these are quite big pieces of foliage here. Let's decide what I'm going to go with first. I think I'm going to go, might actually go with this sort of double piece of no, I'm not. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to take this one in this way. So I'm going to take that piece of sort of pine coney sprucey greenery. I'm going to sit that in there, and I think we'll have, let's go shaded spruce, seeing as we've picked a sprucey piece. I'll pop my box underneath here. Let's move this over slightly. And I'm going to ink up my sprucey leaf and stamp. I'm going to move this round so it is on a diamond orientation. So it's gone into the next point on my wreath template. I haven't stuck these down because I am literally moving them back round to the square. Morning, Jackie. Back round to a diamond. A square. A diamond. A square. And last but not least, a diamond. Now let's bring us back to where we started. Now I'm thinking I'm going to come in with another sprucey piece coming inwards, coming downwards and inwards from that first piece. Let's pick that up. Let's bring that round. have a really lovely birthday and that you've got other nice things planned apart from just tidying your craft room, that, you know, hopefully at least get to do some playing with things in your craft room. So we're just wheeling this round, building it up. Like that. Let's take that one off. What else shall we have here? Let's come in with this piece of greenery here. Sort of almost, we have it going the right way. Let's have that piece in there. Let's come in with some, I think perhaps pear pizzazz on that one. One of the old style stamp blocks that really needs replacing. Now, did that move? I do believe it did. And to lay that down there, it is already inked up. But as we pick it up, it will stamp. Move that round. Now this actually is not a full piece because it's intended as a two-step stamp, so there's an extra on the top, but I'm not actually going to worry about that too much. So I'm just adding in foliage because, as with all wreaths, they're going to be sort of wrapped around each other and bundled together. Round it comes. Oh, lovely. Not one that you're cooking, I hope, Caroline. Hope you've got somebody cooking a nice meal for you. That's always a treat. Unless, of course, you don't cook normally anyway. That's making the assumption. Right, so we've added that second layer of greenery coming round there. What else shall we have? Wondering if holly's going to be too much on the top, or indeed whether I perhaps might stamp and die cut some holly in a little bit. Let's bring in this little one just here. and some early espresso, I think. Or shall we go? No, let's go cinnamon cider. I might actually grab my bumblebee while I'm here. Every time I go to my ink pads, my wire on my microphone catches nothing. I did that last time, didn't it? It looked as if it moved when I not quite where I wanted it. Just there, I think. This is the twiggy effect. In the background. Can't see anyone's comments. Oh. I'm not sure why, Jackie. Unless it's that Caroline is possibly... No, Caroline's on Facebook as well. Maybe that you're on different platforms. It may be that one's on the Crafty Ducks and one is on my Facebook and Love-a-Duckie page. That may be why. Right, I'm going to come round with just a spotty just here. Oh, who's stay? Let's hope it actually goes back to where we want it to this time. Yes, it seems to have done. I'll have a look later and see. It could just be that because I'm going live in 3 places, it may just be that you can only see the comments from people that are watching in the same place that you are. That is one possibility. I can share comments, so if anything interesting comes up that I think you all need to know about, I can make the comments show up on the screen. I should have made my yellow dots slightly further in, but never mind. Right, I'm going to leave that for now in terms of twizzling it round in my stamparatus. Let's take that stamp out because we may want it. What I think we'll do now is we'll take some soft suede, I think, some garden green and some real red. So soft suede. Let's find ourselves a bit of basic white card. Hi Angie. We're having a bit of a play with the painted Christmas. Ah, yes, so it obviously must be that you can only see. We're just having a conversation, Angie, about why Jackie couldn't see. You must only be able to see the comments of people that are watching it on the same platform as you are. So if they're watching it elsewhere, their comments are showing up elsewhere. I just get to see them all because I'm such a lucky girl. Right, okay. Let's put some lids on some of these ink pads before we lean in them. I'm going to take these holly leaves and I think it's going to go 3. Now there's another stamp here that's going to give me some no, let's just leave it at that. So we've got our holly leaves. I think we've got a die for the berries. Yes. Let's have 3 lots of berries. And then before we head over and cut those out, I'm going to come in with, I think, just the smaller of the pine cones. We've got 2 stamps there, one that's slightly more detailed than the other. I want another bit, a bit more basic white card. And I'm going to grab soft suede, she says, if she can find it. There we are. So this is the sort of background bit. I think I'm going to go in. This is the style of the stamp because it is a this sort of water painted coloured effect. I don't think I do want to stamp it off. Might go. We shan't use that one, so that's given me 5 pine cones. Let's bring in the other one. And stamp over the top. Witness that multi-tonal effect. I love stamps like this that give you this so much detail. And they are a watercolory effect. They're not sort of crisp, solid images. They're not meant to be. You can pick up that sort of 2-tone effect on those. Move these all to one side for a minute. So we will then die cut ourselves some holly leaves and some pine cones. So let's go to the seasonal labels die. We want the little pine cone. We want the berries. And we want the holly leaves. Look at this beautiful big label just here. Isn't it gorgeous? There are a variety of size labels. And things that will add slits and things to bits to tags and labels. Just lovely. But we've got our pine cone, our holly and our berries. Let's go and cut those out. So hopefully everybody is starting to ramp up a little bit towards Christmas now. Been out this week doing Christmas craft with a group of explorers. So they are sort of top age of the scout group, not the adults, but there are slightly older ones, but these are the 14 to 18-year-olds. And considering majority of them were boys and, you know, some of them were quite cool dudes, it was I was pleasantly surprised about how much they did engage, actually. I have been out to explorers before, but this was a different group to one that I've been to before. In fact, one of the young lads said to me, "Do you think you could come to our school and do a day of crafting so we didn't have to do lessons?" Having done that the week before with a group of reception children, I'm not sure whether senior schools would quite buy into that game. Oh, where have we gone, Fuzzy? Have we just lost? That's it. Lost focus. Come along, camera, focus. So yeah, that was quite an amusing thought. And one more lot of holly. They're quite nice to cut out because they're such big sort of images. They're not too fiddly to line up, and because they are that sort of grungy watercolory effect anyway. Obviously you have more time anyway to spend lining things up, and I have to sort of go for it a little bit. Otherwise we'd be here all day. As lovely as that would be. There are other things, unfortunately, I've got to get on with. And some pine cones. Yeah. Lunchtime wouldn't be bad, would it? I mean, this school is quite a little way. The school he goes to is quite a little while away. But he was there on his phone searching me on Facebook, which was rather sweet. Typical scouting conversation, so that, you know, why could they not at least try real candles in their paper creations? And what was my favourite biscuit? And dunking qualities of different sorts of biscuits is another topic of conversation. They were shocked that I'm not very keen on rich tea, because because apparently it's one of the Queen's favourite biscuits. I did explain if it was the only biscuit on offer, I would eat it. I mean, let's be honest, but certainly not my favourite. Not when you could have a chocolate hobnob. Right, we've got 4 pine cones down, 1 to go. So obviously we could have opted for the die cut pine cones as well. Let's pick that die up so we don't lose it. Ooh. Okay. Glenda. We've got our basic background wreath, and we're now going to sort of build these up on the top. Let's bring in some dimensionals. Little dots of blue on the back of these holly berries. That in there. Another set of holly down here somewhere. Those berries off there. And then here. There's my last set of berries. Just here. Got our pine cones as well. Deciding how I want my pine cones. I'm going to stick this bottom one down. Actually, I might have it coming this way. This one coming this way. Let's tuck it underneath that holly leaf. Same with this one. This one coming this One. Something down this way. Put this one on a dimension here. Going to find some let's go with a piece of shaded spruce card, I think. To cut that to, sounds a bit dog-eared. So I've cut that to 14.9, so it's as big a piece of cardstock as you can get from the biggest square that you can get from a piece of A4. Do we want real red behind there, do we think? Let's. So this one was about 11.5. Let's go 12.5 with our real red. Looking rather glamorous. I'm going to take a piece of the stitched real red ribbon. So any of your real red ribbons. Have a bit of that in there somewhere. And we do need a greeting of some sort. Merry Christmas, season's greetings, 'tis the season, have a holly jolly Christmas. I think I might let's take this die just here and let's go with season's greetings, I think. And I think we'll go with shaded spruce to sort of bring back to the front of the project. Sorry, that sent it out of focus, didn't it? Yep, we agreed on that one, Angie. Season's greetings. I think. Let's trim this. over stamped that slightly. And slightly the other way, but I think that will do. I might replace it later. But I'm very aware that time is marching on. That's very wonky. Actually, I'm going to cut my label first. That was very wonky sitting on that. When I tried to line the label up, hadn't quite got the wiggle room I needed to line the label up so that it was square onto the greeting. So shall we go third time lucky with our greeting? That's better. So we could have that coming here, and that over the top. What I might just do is this round the edge of my ink pad, making sure not to cut into the top of my ink pad, but just adding a smidge of that ink to the edge so that it just does pop a little bit against the white. So glue, where are you? Let's stick this to this. I think that glue's pretty well run out, do you? I've got another one here. It is more stubborn, grim determination just to get the very last squidge of ink out of that glue bottle. But let's try that on when I'm not not live, shall we? Put that on a bit of a wonky angle. Bring in our season's greetings. What have I done with my bow? Aha! It's leapt off the edge. Found you. Let's find a glue dot. And decide where we're going to put our bow. Possibly there. So sort of balance out the fact that we've got the greeting that side by putting the bow that side. And what shall we add into that? Let's have some gilded gems. Do love a gilded gem. We'll just put a few of those around and about to add a bit of sparkle. There we got a nice big, so that is almost a 6-inch square card there. A nice big statement card using those stamps and our stamparatus to create a wreath. So what I will do now quickly, hopefully, is I'm going to take this other set of dies. I have this big background piece here, and this one on the front that's more detailed. I think the detailed one I'm going to go with some old olive. So do you still use things like holly and the greenery, and do you still do wreaths and things like that in Australia, or do you have wreaths but go very much more down the, I don't know, pom-pom or bauble wreaths? I expect you have other traditional greenery that you can use. Just wondered if that's something that you do. Turn that over. Hopefully that's not moved. This is obviously an incredibly detailed die. So don't be surprised if you have to run it through a couple of times. So I've run that through twice one way and then popped it over the other, and that is all just falling out quite nicely. So we'll come back to that one in a minute. So this is your very detailed piece for the front. Get both, yeah. Going to go. Let's go Mossy Meadow for the background bit. Make this much darker. So there's one die. Going to give that a tap and knock some of those little bits out of it. This one is not quite so detailed. Obviously, I'm still going to run it backwards and forwards a couple of times. But you can always tell by looking at them really as to whether the... So this one I've just ran backwards and forwards twice. And you do have to almost tickle them out because there are lots of small sort of frond pieces. So it is a bit of a labour of love just working that out. It could perhaps have done with going through again in the centrepiece, but I think with a bit of wiggling that's going to come out. So then let's just die cut ourselves some of the pine cones. So you've got 2 each of the small ones and 1 each of the large ones. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, things like holly leaves and ivy and those sorts of things, they are evergreens, aren't they? Which is why we use them in the first place, is because here, as we're getting into winter time and when lots of other things have lost their leaves and those sorts of things, they're the things that are going to keep going. So they are the things that you're going to get hold of all year round. Where has that gone? just dropped that die. I thought it went in there, but I can't see it in there. So for the moment, I've just got one pair of each and half a set of the other one. Till I can get digging about in my tray and see where the other part of the pine cone went. Right, up you come. Oh, wrong tool. That's not going to poke anything out. It's my embossing end on there, so that's not going to help me, is it? Right, just quickly need to make up for my missing die. So we have background bits and foreground bits. Those bits out. So these build up, as you can quite see, those build up into your pine cones. So I've done both layers in soft suede. You could use different colours, but you'll get some natural shading and things on it anyway. And we have you out of there, where you're supposed to be releasing, just there. Okay. So we have our background bit just here. So let's take out these inner pieces, and you can see that you've then got gaps where pine cones fit on. It's one of these things, it takes some time to cut it and poke all the extra bits out, but once you've done that, you've almost got like instant projects. And had I got my brush to hand, we could have perhaps brushed some of these out. There we are, that's come out of there. So there's one piece. A couple of little landlocked bits in there. Let's get you out. So there's the background piece. Let's bring in this piece. So obviously you can use these as they are, as one big piece. You can snip them up into smaller pieces, use them to make corners. You could die cut one piece and use it over quite a few different cards. Again, I've done both, I think, so if you can check out the Christmas cards on my blog or on my Pinterest, think you'll find cards where I've used this die. So there's our 2 pieces, and obviously they are going to sit one on top of the other. You could stick all of those down, or just stick down the main pieces, and which is what I'm going to do, I think, and leave some of it sort of free flowing, if you like. So I'm just going to add some glue where the pine cone bits are. The other thing, of course, you can do is cut it with double-sided adhesive. You're going to do that, I would suggest just peeling, either starting at the top or starting at the bottom, peeling it off a piece at a time. I'm just going to stick down, just added glue to these pine coney bits, and then the rest is sort of more fluffy. And again with these, if we'd have done it with double-sided adhesive, you could have just peeled them off and stuck them on. There's one big one. Might possibly need another big one. You get lots of confetti. This is one where you're going to have lots of bits over your craft room floor when you're finished. Find bits of pine cone on the dog or whatever. So yeah, I need one more big pine cone. Let's see if we've got enough small ones. Out you come a little bit. So they've cut beautifully, it is just poking out those bits. That one can come in here. Ooh. That one can come in there. This one in here. And you can see how these are going to build up. Let's bring that down a bit, get rid of some of the background pieces. So I do need one more large one and one more small one. But what I will do is I will cut those off air and add them in. I'm actually going to grab a pre-cut 5x7 card, because that is a wonderful background for that. And is going to happen. I should cut this 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 to go behind there. And I think what I might do, yeah, I'm fine, Angie. I've just knocked a tray of dies off the side, which is not helpful. That'll give me a job to do, won't it? So yeah, so I think what I'm going to do to finish this card off is I am going to emboss this background here. I'll decide which embossing folder, and I might also add on some little blobs of embossing paste to give that a snowy effect. So I will carry on and I will finish that card, and so do look out on Facebook pages and things, in blogs and on to see the finished article. But that does give you an indication of just how stunning that die is. It just is really beautiful. So a couple of sort of big statement cards using the Painted Seasons bundle, and as I said, this is one that is going to carry over. So the stamps and the dies, both sets of stamps, both sets of dies will be carrying over, and then the papers that we haven't actually used, might put a flash of paper behind there, we'll see. But both the papers and those little gold holly leaves, we haven't had any of those yet either. Not sure that they're going to. Oh, I might put some in there actually. Might add in some holly leaves. Might give that a bit of a spark, wouldn't it? What do we think? And then perhaps I'll add in some red rhinestones or something as some berries. So I will finish that card off and I will share that with you later. And this one was created with our stamparatus using the wreath technique. So I hope you've enjoyed those. We should, all being well, be back on Monday, where we'll be playing with something else. I haven't decided what yet. Element of surprise. So let us come back up here. So the cameras seem to have worked. Fingers crossed, and we got the sound sorted, so hopefully on Monday we'll be able to go straight ahead without any of the trial and errors for the first place. Yeah, but have a lovely weekend, everybody. I hope you all get to do something really nice. We're having a bit of a family get together on Sunday, which will be really lovely, and I'm helping tomorrow at a fire station open day, doing some craft with children, so that will be fun as well. So lots going on, so look forward to seeing you next week. So do have a lovely weekend. Take care, everybody, and see you all soon.